not only is it impossible to not love a Hallmark Christmas film with Candace Cameron Bure, but this one is also not predictable, and I'm over the moon with that because Hallmark films, especially their Christmas films, are pretty standard. You kind of know what's happening, and in a way that's good. Although they're usually predictable, they're comfortable, they're safe, you know what to expect. This one, although it's safe and comfortable, threw a curveball. A little bit exciting. Absolutely love it. I'm not going to tell you why, because that would be a spoiler, but I absolutely adored it. This was released in 2020, directed by David Weaver, written by Sarah Montana and Jim Head, and stars, of course, Candace Cameron Bure as Darcy and Warren Christie as Glenn. And I'll read the description from IMDb, which kind of sums it up a little bit, but I'll talk around it. And this says, at Christmas, a cheerful publicist, Darcy, teams up with a cynical VP, that's Glenn, played by Warren Christie, and his eclectic team to help a charity in need. Now, to be fair, his eclectic team he had never even met before or spoken to. But Darcy does some pro bono work at this charity, or this company that does a lot of work for charity, primarily for children in need, not the charity Children in Need, but for children who need support, and to help get more support for schools and for teachers dealing with, children in poorer areas and things. And Darcy goes along and puts some plans in place. And that sounds quite basic, but actually it's really interesting because it's, for me at least, it's less about what she does to help them and more about watching the team come together and these different personalities gel and, watching the plans all come together. And I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a great mix of characters that makes that work really well, and it is just an absolute delight. There isn't anything about that part of the narrative that I didn't like. It's also worth pointing out, this, just something to look out for, there are a lot of references to the Wizard of Oz in here. There are some red shoes, a lot of mention of Emerald. Darcy is from Kansas City. She does actually say there's no place like home at one point. There are so many. So when you sit down and watch it, and I would do this in hindsight, I didn't know this at the time, of course, but if you watch it now, see how many Wizard of Oz references you can find and let me know, because I think that would be pretty interesting. But I loved all of the main characters in this, apart from Winona. But we're not meant to like Winona, for the most part. I also think that Warren Christie was brilliant as Glenn. I actually really took to Glenn as a character very quickly. I really enjoyed what he brought to this and what he brought out in Darcy. I love his dry wit. I just thought he was a fantastic character, and that doesn't happen all of the time, so I can't really complain with that. I had a good time with it. I had a really good time with this film. I also think that Marcus, Robert Marcus, who plays Riley, was brilliant. Really loved that character and that performance. So would I change anything about this? No, I wouldn't. It's beautiful, it's very festive, very uplifting, very motivational, beautifully executed. Now that I'm aware of the Wizard of Oz aspect, definitely want to go back and watch it and see how many references I can find. Although it's probably not one of my all-time favourite Hallmark Christmas films, I did thoroughly enjoy it, and without question, I would happily recommend it.